This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, with the Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale still going on through July 27th, I thought I would give you 5 suggestions of discs that are quite diverse and that you may have overlooked or forgotten about. So I'm not going to do any no-brainers like No Country for Old Men or The Grifters or Barry Lyndon and 4K. We know about those already. These are some that may have slipped under the radar that I think you might find interesting. I'm also going to tell you if we've posted separate episodes on any of these films in case you want to go deeper. And I'll also tell you where you can stream these films in case you want to try before you buy. Let's check it out. We're going to go chronologically, and we're going to start with a Western. That would be The Gunfighter from 1950 in black and white. And this is about an infamous gunslinger who wants to hang up his holsters and start a new life. But as often happens in these kinds of scenarios, his reputation keeps drawing him back in and attracting some enemies, and leads to a cycle of violence and revenge. Now, I chose this one because this is really one of the first Westerns that was more brooding, that had a darker tone, that was more of a psychological nature, and which also introduced the idea of demystifying the myths about the Western outlaw hero. So think of other films that came later, such as High Noon or Johnny Guitar or The Searchers, or especially much later on, Unforgiven. It stars Gregory Peck as the infamous gunslinger known as Johnny Ringo. Henry King directed in beautiful black and white. This is streaming for free on Tubi right now. Also from the 1950s, but much, much different, is my number 2 pick, and that is The Girl Can't Help It from 1956 in eye-popping color. This is about a washed-up talent agent who tries to make a mobster's girlfriend into the next musical sensation. I chose this one because it's a really fun jukebox musical that features performances by some of the legendary rock and roll performers of that time, including Little Richard singing the title song, Fats Domino, The Platters, many others. Tom Ewell plays the agent. He's probably best known for The 7-Year Itch. And Jayne Mansfield plays the blonde bombshell. You can see her on the cover there. And she's the mobster's girlfriend, almost like a living cartoon, like a Jessica Rabbit type in this film. And it's her first major film role, and I think she was kind of parodying Marilyn Monroe a little bit here. It was directed by Frank Tashlin, who was probably best known for many, many Looney Tune cartoons at the beginning of his career, and he brought that whole sensibility and the visual gags into the films he made, including this one and several that he did with Jerry Lewis, including Cinderfella and The Disorderly Orderly. John Waters, the director, is a big fan of this. There's an interview with him on this disc, so that might give you an idea of where this is coming from. And I did post an episode about this film, so you can check that out. I'm going to put links to all these episodes in the show notes down below. Now, going from the ridiculous to the sublime is my number 3 pick, and that is The Human Condition from 1959 to 1961. This one's in Japanese and in black and white. I think this is the only foreign film I'm going to show you today. But this is actually 3 films, mainly making up a total of 9.5 hours. It's about the journey of a well-intentioned but rather naive young man as he goes from labor camp supervisor to Imperial Army soldier to Soviet prisoner of war. I chose this because I think it's a masterpiece, a cinematic masterpiece on every level. Visually, the writing, the acting, it's got a strong anti-war message. Once I started part 1, I couldn't wait to finish the entire series, and that doesn't always happen with these long series. The star here is, I'll try to pronounce this right, Tatsuya Nakade. He was apparently a huge star in Japan at the time in cinema, and he was also in some other very good films like Harikari and Ran and Yojimbo, among many others. I did post an episode on this one if you want to check that out, and this is streaming right now on the Criterion channel. Again, something totally different. My number 4 pick is Rumblefish from 1983 in black and white. This is about a street thug who struggles to live up to his legendary older brother's reputation and longs for the days of gang warfare. Now, I chose this because, well, S.E. Hinton, the young adult novelist, very successful, wrote the novel of this. She wrote The Outsiders, probably her most famous one. And Francis Ford Coppola directed a version of The Outsiders and directed Rumblefish as well. And he calls this an art film for teenagers. And I think that's a pretty apt description of this film. So if you think that sounds interesting, I think you're going to like this film. It was beautifully shot in black and white with a great cast, some of whom were also in The Outsiders. The Outsiders and Rumblefish were directed by Coppola in the same year. And the cast includes Matt Dillon, Mickey Rourke, Diane Lane, Dennis Hopper, Nicolas Cage, many others. And this also includes an audio commentary from Coppola himself. And my final Criterion recommendation during this Barnes & Noble sale is Smooth Talk from 1985. This one's in color. It's about a teenage girl who tries to escape the boredom of family life during summer vacation by hanging out with some of her girlfriends and flirting with boys. But things get dangerous when she meets a mysterious stranger. I chose this because it's a realistic coming-of-age film that takes a very dark turn. It's based on a short story by Joyce Carol Oates. Now, when I was in college taking an advanced writing course, there were about 10 of us in the class, and near the end of the course, the professor read us a passage of writing that he thought was quite good, and it just blew us away. It was by Joyce Carol Oates. Laura Dern stars in this, one of my favorite actresses. This is made between her films Mask and Blue Velvet. She was only 18 years old at the time. Then Treat Williams is basically her co-star, and he plays this smooth-talking stranger named Arnold Friend, because he's a friend to you. And I'd say the last half or maybe third of this film is really just the two of them acting off each other, which is really quite remarkable. I did post an episode on this, and it is streaming on the Criterion channel right now. So feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion down below. Are there maybe some more obscure titles, some overlooked films on Criterion that you would like to suggest to other people they check out during this sale? Please let us know. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. It's taken a while, but we're like maybe 150 away from that. So share the word with your friends and neighbors. Subscribing is free. Also free as we're on Letterboxd under the Kazdoy Closet. We're leaving brief reviews of what else we're watching on there. And what's not free is my ebook is available. It is True Tales from the Teacher Trenches, the ups and downs from 32 years of teaching. It's for your Kindle. If you don't have a Kindle, you can use the free Kindle app on any device of your choice. And you have to go to Amazon.com to download that. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's included in that service. If not, it's going to set you back $1.99. So people seem to like it. So hope you like this episode as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.